see you.
I didn't even shave. I look like a scruff from Hawaii or something.
That's awesome.
It looks awesome, huh? We're going to set these end trusses up here on top of the container home today. We have the 4x4 beams set out, so we've got a wood to metal attachment. They're basically drilled into the top of the containers. We'll slide these trusses out, set it on that end, brace it, slide this one out, set it on this end, brace it, and start putting in the trusses in between. That makes sense?
That makes sense. We're coming. Okay.
Got some building materials laying around all over the place. And behold the beginnings of the kitchen. Behold the glory.
Right? It looks really good. So, oh, okay. So this is two containers opened up. Okay.
There are two containers opened up. You've got a little bit of container left and some 2x4s.
Yeah.
Basically, it's got, every 2 feet it's got a 2x4 with hangers between the containers, and I'll do the same over here.
Okay.
Except because I got to take out all of this wall from here.
Okay, let me stand back so I can see you a little bit better. So this isn't your flooring, this is the floor that was in the container.
Yeah, this is the container floor. So, because I got to take this out all the way end to end, I'm going to weld some angle iron along the bottom of that piece that I leave up here.
Hey, I'm filming just so you guys know.
I'm going to put leave this up here, and then I'll put 2 pieces of angle iron side by side to make basically make it a structural beam all the way across there.
Okay.
It'll stiffen it up and hold the weight. Otherwise, I'd have to cut it all out and put like a, I don't know, 6x12 or something like that.
Right.
Or glue lamp or something in there, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, especially when you got metal.
Yeah. So it'll be.
So this is 3 containers back into here.
Yeah, 3 containers, and the 4th container is the one we're sleeping in.
Okay.
We haven't opened it up because we don't want all the dust.
Right. I don't blame you. Well, man, I tell you, where you framed it out, it sure does look good. So you're using metal studs?
Yes. Yep, metal studs, just like over here.
Okay.
We've got the 2x4 metal studs, 16-inch centers. Got the thermal mylar scrim behind here.
Yeah.
Notice it ain't glued on. Leave a little bit of air barrier between it so it actually works. Otherwise, it's the same as having the steel wall.
Right. That way you're breathing a little bit in there.
Yeah, breathing a little bit.
And then you've got the insulation here.
Yeah. Steel, and they won't rust away.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
Well, they'll get a little patina on them. But the rust only goes so far back into it and then it stops. It builds the rust is the protective layer on cork steel.
Interesting, I didn't know that.
And these are all made out of.
So these guys here are going to be used, or that came out of like your doors and windows that you're cutting in between the...
Came out of the in between where we cut out entire walls.
Uh-huh.
That came out of the... Well, like,
oh yeah, like the center wall all the way down.
Like the center wall right through here. All of that. That's part of that. The windows. And a lot of guys, when they come over like over to these edges where they take them and put them together, they will leave this little part. Let me get down here and demonstrate. Okay. They will leave this, they'll cut the wall off up here and leave this little tab hanging out.
Okay.
And then they'll spend about 6-7 weeks grinding the weld down to a somewhat flat. No. Just go along and cut along the edge, take that entire strip out, and then you end up with a flat floor. You don't have to worry about being too uneven.
And then you just basically put a threshold over it like you did here then.
Yeah, that's just a piece of sheet metal, 8-inch, 6-inch, whatever it is, piece of sheet metal nailed all the way down. And that'll cover the hole and allow us to put our tile on top or hardwood flooring or whatever. And maybe, I don't know if I still got one out here or not. I had in my possession for your viewing pleasure, I guess not.
The viewing pleasure will come later.
Yeah, I had a piece of flooring that I cut out for the sewer pipe in the kitchen. And the flooring on these things is about that thick.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
inch and a half, 2 inches.
It's like an inch and a half thick marine grade plywood.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. But I don't have a piece to show you.
It's like sheet LVL or something.
Something like that, but it's really thick and it's really, I mean, if you buy the container for anything, you just buy it for the flooring because it's never gonna bend, it's never gonna warp. And
so these things are pretty heavy just by themselves then, really?
About 9,800 pounds just by themselves.
Wow.
Empty.
That's pretty heavy.
Quite heavy. Hurricane party at my house, by the way.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So it basically takes a lava flow to take you out once you get these up.
Yes, yes. Yeah, the lava, they can't withstand that, but the winds, even that 6.8 earthquake we had, took it like a champ. Well, it's containers. Shipping containers. As you were mentioning earlier, you're asking what I'm going to do with the outside. Well, we're gonna grind a little bit of this rust off, and we're going to paint it with elastometric paint, which is basically roofing paint, but because it's elastometric, it also provides a slight thermal barrier because it doesn't allow the metal to soak up the heat. The cracks will be covered with the same type of sheet metal that's in between the cutouts and the floors. It'll be covered with that. These ends up here, I got to work a little something else out because that's a long gap. I'll probably just put some T111 on those gaps there. Other than that, that's pretty much it. A few more windows, obviously.
Right.
Get a little more natural light inside. You were over here on the roof putting up the end caps on the roof.
Yeah, your gable ends.
Yeah, the gable ends. That's all dried in now. Got solar panels on each side. I don't know if you want to hike up there or not. Okay.
So how many panels have you got? How many watts?
Well, what are they? Those 327 watts? What were they? I don't remember the specs on them. I just knew that I needed solar panels, so I threw them in.
All right.
So there's 10 on each side of the roof.
Okay.
So morning time I get it on this side. Since the house is pretty much north-south, I'll get the east side of the sun during the morning hours, and then in the afternoon hours, I'll have the west side kicking in.
Yeah.
Keeping the batteries pretty much charged. Of course, the batteries, the way it's set up right now, are charged by about 9 o'clock in the morning.
That's about how ours do.
I mean, it really kicks. A lot better than the last solar array that I had.
You know, every solar setup I do seems to be a whole lot better than the last.
Is that because doing
It's because we got better ideas.
better ideas? That works. That works. So, come around the back of this. I got some more Ethernet cable to put in down in here. I say I have some more Ethernet cable I got to get stored up. But I got my conduits for each bank of solar panels that come down off the roof. I got my data control. I got my remote generator start in the conduit. And they all come over these tiny little, or not tiny, but boxes anyway. Got the
pull and disconnects.
Got the pull disconnect, so I can solve that if I have a problem. Of course, you got to make sure they get back in the right hole.
Yeah, I've noticed those can kind of get a little bit crooked if you're not careful. I've been using those myself.
Yeah. Come on. There we go. Much better. So they make a pretty easy solution for your solar panel connect and disconnect.
Nice.
But these basically will be all, I'm not going to cover them up. I'm just going to lock them up and call it good. Give them a coat of paint and make them all match.
Right.
Dealing with these doors weigh about 600 pounds a piece, and cutting them out and dealing with them and then framing in something else is just too much of a hassle. When they've got gaskets around them, you close them, you just paint them, and they're sealed.
That makes sense.
So they're done. They're done in that respect. And that's really all there is behind here. It's just kind of the things that I've been doing since you've been doing.
Right.
Alrighty then. It's a good place there to calm. Do your yoga and calm. So basically I came up here and I just cut out the walls through here to get access and be able to bolt these containers together with these 3/4 inch bolts.
Okay. So now you've got them where they're all pretty much one solid unit.
Yeah, one solid unit that shouldn't fall off and crash or hurt anybody.
Right. Now, why have you got these tabs up here that kind of are cut out?
Well, they're the vents, and they've got a plastic box on the other side. And when I'm torching through with a plasma torch, it makes a really bad stinking fire, plastic fire. So I try to go and just hit them with a sawzall or something later.
Okay. I thought maybe that was to hold up a wooden header or something. So, you know, stupid questions.
No stupid questions. It's all we can do is learn more by asking questions.
Right.
And apparently we don't have any leaks in here because the roof is on, which is totally exciting.
Yeah, definitely dry in here.
Yeah. So that'll be the master bedroom over here. The stairs will come up here, and then there'll be a little hallway that comes down towards the master bedroom. There will be 2 separate bedrooms off on those 2 containers over there.
Okay.
Master bath, master closet. It'll be a pretty big master bedroom.
Yeah, this will be nice.
It'll be like, what was it, 28 by 20? Somewhere in there.
Okay.
Huge master bedroom.
That's going to be real nice.
Yeah, should be. Should be really good. And I don't know what else to tell you. Unless you got questions. You got to ask me questions so I can tell you all about it.
Well, I know that you're framing these with 2x4 steel studs.
Yeah, I do that all on the exterior wall because it makes it easy to screw up into the metal. And the rest of it, there's really no internal walls that are structural, any load-bearing walls on the inside, so they're all floating. They just basically hold the wallboard up, that's all they do.
Right.
Special? Oh, cow. It's simply 1x2 box steel, cut at 45s and it's welded into the container on all the way around. Not a complete weld, just tacked here and there to keep it in there. Put a little silicone around it, and this stuff here is just it's actually that Flex Seal stuff. It's just that.
Oh, okay. And that stuff works pretty good, huh?
It works pretty good. It's basically rhino lining. That's what Flex Seal is. The way it comes out and the way it goes on, the way it feels and the texture and everything. It's like rhino lining.
Okay. Well, I know what that's like. I had that in a truck in Colorado. Had it in my bed. It worked good.
Works really good. It's pretty rugged and tough. And being white, it lets me see if I've got any places that I messed with the silicone in there.
Right.
The doors are a 3x4 inch piece of box steel that's put all the way around. I've seen some people that'll put something like this in and then they'll put a 2x4 frame on the inside. And I just decided I'd put it nice and straight and mount the door directly to it, because then I can come in here and put in steel screws in through here that if somebody decides to try to force entry into the house, they're really going to have to work for it because it's tied into the steel behind it.
Wow.
And do the same thing with the attachment. That one screw that they leave out of the hinge ties normally into the stud. Put like a stainless steel bolt that goes into the metal frame.
Nice.